This is definitely not... I didn't tell them to join the lobby, so they're the ones who are having to keep it going. There we go, Dazarin's in. Dazarin has made it in just in time. So welcome Dazarin to the lobby. They're good to go now. It's Solary versus Magnifico, everybody. These guys are competing for a spot. Oh wait, did they get the right kickoff spawns? I think they did. Nicely done. So they had to do a little bit of a leave join manipulation there to get the right kickoff spawns, but they got it just in time for this to get started. Well, let's see now how they're going to do versus each other. Solarii are expected to win this one, but Magnifico proved to be quite a deadly opponent as well. I'm very interested to see how the 1v1 round between these two is going to go. Hard to pick a winner, but it is going to be Atomic who puts the first goal in. Magnifico already showing up and ready to upset some Rocket League or RLCS players. Oh, you can see the chat. Well, hopefully in this one they don't say anything stupid. I'll just leave it for now. Usually I just turn it off in case a player says something they shouldn't say. Types it in frustration while getting mind gamed for a goal that they don't want to be happening. But yeah, for you guys who are new to Magnifico, because they are an up-and-coming team in the EU scene, you know, it's no surprise to see them making a deep run like this in the lower bracket. The winner of this series does not qualify for Fusion EU, but they do make it into a qualification match. Of course, it was originally scheduled today that I would only be streaming qualification matches from this point onwards, but like I said before this, we have made a change to the broadcast schedule. So we are covering Magnifico versus Solary now. Now Magnifico have a very well-rounded roster. They've looked competitive in all the game modes, 1s, 2s and 3s. But you can say the same thing about Solary. Both teams here have top 100 1s players, top 50, I think even top 40 on their rosters. And, you know, 2v2 comes quite naturally as well to, I would say, most teams in this tournament. 2v2 probably the matchup that the majority of teams have been capable in, but a few teams have excelled in. We saw Space Station in North American Qualifier last night looking extremely impressive in 2v2. We saw SRG and Vitality yesterday really dominating 2v2 on the EU side. I wonder if either of these teams can start to look that impressive. Solary also, you know, talked about Magnifico there, the up-and-coming team from EU. Well, we also have Solary, who are on a bit of a hot streak. I mean, they didn't qualify for the Rocket League Spring Series, but they did qualify for RLCS next season through the promotion tournament, and that was, you know, not an easy promotion tournament to make through. They had to go through canyons in there, had to battle against the likes of Endpoint, who also qualified. Solary are having to come back from behind here. Magnifico showing us some solid defense. And Solary have been relatively uninspiring as of yet. They have had, you know, a couple of shots on goal, but all have been defended relatively easily by the extremely mechanically sound and effective Magnifico roster. Just another team who are coming in here from the EU bubble scene and taking names, upsetting everybody. And that is a 2-0 lead. Exotic gets dominated. But really the problem was in defense. Melashisu and Carrion getting in each other's way there. And really the touch from Melashisu only took the ball past Carrion. No one else. This is perfect though for Magnifico, who have got Atomic for 1v1. He's been looking very good in the 1v1 matchups that he's played. Went close with Fairy Peak when they played. 2v2 also, you know, wasn't an easy win for Vitality, who did send Magnifico down here into the lower bracket. And that's actually 3-0 for Magnifico. This is not the result I expected, you know. Knew this was going to be a dangerous series for Solary, but you've got to give them the edge in this matchup. You have to predict them to be the favorites here because they are coming in as the RLCS team. They're the team We have played in this kind of pressure, high pressure situation and succeeded in this kind of high pressure situation before. It's really not working out so far. 3-1. Solary do get one back. There is time still as well. And that is a pretty good continuation as Exotic bangs in another goal. The power from this wall shot really left Magnifico reeling because no one is back. Defender tried to go up and challenge the shot. Did not have a chance. You can't wait for Endpoint to play. Well, good news for you, my friend. We will be covering the winner of this match versus Endpoint after this series is done. That is going to be the last series for the EU Fusion Qualifier. And we will be streaming that one in about 54 minutes from now. But it's really difficult to predict who's going to make it through. Oh, you're joking. Atomic with a huge mind game. That's still available for Emre. And he goes top corner, saved by Exotic, and it's put in by Yukis. But what was this mind game by Atomic to let the ball bounce onto the goal line? He had everybody completely fooled. And the follow-up from Magnifico is there. They've got 56 seconds now to hold on to this lead. Now, honestly, they're looking pretty good in this matchup. Johnny Boy, your voice sounds a bit tired. That might be something to do with me casting 10 best of 5 crew battle series in a row yesterday and being on my 4th one in a row today. Not sure if that has something to do with it. Yeah, I'm trying not to be as loud as I was at the start of the stream yesterday because I realized I was probably going to run out of vocal stamina if I kept the same volume from start to finish. So we're just trying to drop off a little bit here. You have to be careful when you're solo casting 10 series in one day. Not to go too loud too fast. Drink plenty of water. I'm going to keep saying it. Is this the end of the Solary effort in the first threes game? They have been piling on the pressure at the end of the game here, but credit to Magnifico. Their defense looks solid. Yesterday, they were kind of stuck in defense all game against Vitality, but it's quite clear that Solary don't have the same lockdown on that midfield that Vitality do. Vitality are so difficult to get the ball past in midfield, but several times this game, Magnifico were able to break clear of Solary and, you know, put in pretty easy goals to get an early lead. Once they had that early lead, of course, it was just a matter of time, you know, just wearing down Solary, going extremely even in the mid game. And 2v2 is a very strong matchup for Magnifico as well. This is a tough spot for Solary, guys. Do you think a vocal coach should be useful for casters for the problem of vocal exhaustion? I can't think of that being a bad thing. I mean, I don't really have too many issues because I've done this so much. I've done a lot of marathon solo cast before, so I can tell very early when I need to tone it down, when I need to dial back on the volume or the stress I'm applying to my vocal cords, so I can continue on until the end of the stream. We'll see. I mean, maybe by the end of this one I'm going to be completely wrecked and I'll have to go back to the drawing board, but so far so good, I would say. Feeling good. Looking forward to more North American qualifier action later on tonight, and we still have this match and the winner of this against Endpoint to look forward to confirm who the last qualifier to the EU Fusion tournament will be. Don't forget, Shogun is going to be streaming the other qualifier matchup that's happening. There's been a change of plan. Nameless versus the winner of Three of Kind versus Celestial. It's going to be on Shogun's stream. So just think about that for a second. One of Three of a Kind, Nameless, or Celestial will be in the tournament. Stormtroopers are already in the tournament. One of these guys can make it in. Magnifico can make it in. We could have so many Cinderella runs through this bracket. Lots of great teams being upset. This is really a must-win game for Solary, who did not look too great in the 3v3, and they're going to have a very hard time in the 1v1 as well. Exotic versus Atomic. Oh, you're joking. Yukis has actually kept control of his car here after making a collision mid-air, and he just follows through for the double touch. Really great job by Yukis. They're dominating this series already. I mean, what do you guys think? Exotic or Atomic? Who takes the 1v1 round between these two teams? It's a tough call. Exotic is the one who beat Breezy like 25-7 or something in the last round, wasn't he? I think he was. Exotic is going to put one in here for Solary. Melshisu testing shot to the top corner. Yukis with a panic flip on the goal line. Left himself with absolutely no chance to recover in time. Exotic 29-6 by the way. Oh my goodness, that's just ridiculous. Oh, look at the kickoff strats. Both teams actually get the demo on the kickoff. And it's a goal for Yukis. You know, after this unfolded, there's no doubt that Magnifico had the better position. They just faked the kickoff, demoed the cheating player, and then Yukis forces the own goal from Exotic. Huge IQ coming out of Magnifico, but you gotta watch out for these kickoff strategies. We didn't see too many non-standard kickoffs coming out of the North American qualifier yesterday. But on the EU side, there are many, and these guys show us a pretty good one there. The pressure is just insane. When you combine a fake kickoff with a demo and a cheating player, it's just absolute pandemonium ensues. Melshisu's missed the boost, goes back for it. We'll get it the second time. It's got a very soft boost sound, Melshisu. Will they have overextended here? Nice challenge on the turn. That's a bump attempt by Melshisu. Actually plays the ball and ends up saving it. Now obviously his idea there was to flick it in the top corner, but he did not consider what happens if he gets that wrong. He's missed it entirely. And I really do think that his plan when he started driving forward was probably to bump the goalkeeper. It's only afterwards that he realized, oh, hold on, maybe I can shoot this ball. And then he realizes it was actually a terrible idea. As Magnifico take a 2-0 lead here against Solary, who are the higher seeded of these two teams. They're the ones who, you know, you have to expect to win in a matchup like this. Yukis off the post. They're getting so many chances. Magnifico, every time that they get the ball forward, do look threatening. Well, you have to admit, Solary leaving a lot to be desired in offense, and that is just the easiest goal ever for Atomic. It's 4-1, and after Melshisu centers the ball to nobody, Exotic takes the weirdest line here, takes the boost and drives up the wall into the middle of nowhere. That left the goal wide open. You can't be doing that too much. Definitely can't be doing that in the next round if there is going to be a 1v1 between these two. Big chance for Melshisu. Blasts it, but Yukis saves. And that's a strong save. Keeps the ball under control in the corner as well. There's 2 minutes left. Atomic's flip reset to over 1. Melshisu thought again about making a demo play, but he decides not to. Big chance for Exotic, but he's beaten to the punch. Atomic's just too quick. And that is going to be 5-1. How many times have we seen this? Solary tried to make a play, but it is Magnifico who turn it into a goal. And how do you come back from this? They're down 5-1 in game 2. They're down 2-0 overall. This is a disaster for Solary, who I think at best have a 50-50 matchup in the 1v1. Even if they do have the edge in that matchup, beating Atomic twice in a row is not going to be easy. Finally, they get something going their way. Melshisu and everybody's scrambling. Great dribbling skill there. Atomic just going to read the bounce off the post. And Exotic puts it in. There's time left on the clock, but it is really going to be difficult to come back from here. This is not a lot of time against a team who are posturing as defensively as Magnifico are, and are looking as comfortable in defense as Magnifico are. You know, one more goal here would absolutely seal it, in my opinion, and Atomic's pushing for it. Yukis as well. Bit risky, honestly, to send both players in for this one, but they do get the ball back under control. Exotic steals it. No more boost to continue the air dribble, and Yukis will take it away. Now this really is the last chance for Solary in the 2v2 round. They don't get this one, and they are just at the mercy of Magnifico. They're going to be relying on Exotic to carry them, I think. Or, you know, Emre potentially, because we did see, or sorry, getting my two teams mixed up here. You know, we could see Melashisu potentially. We've seen a few teams mix things up, trying to use multiple ones players in this tournament. That was always expected going in here. Oh, that's a dangerous double commit, but there's no time left on the clock. Yukis and Atomic, they know that as long as they get one touch on the ball here, they're going to have an easy win. Exotic denied the double touch by Yukis. That's a really good save, just to prevent any momentum from swinging into the favor of their opponents. In fact, they're looking for a late goal themselves, which won't work. But who would have thought 2-0 advantage to the underdogs. Magnifico, they made a run in the Spring Series qualifier, and now they're making a run in Fusion qualifier. You know, they're getting closer. I just clicked view now by accident. Sorry about that. Accidental double click there. Let me just get back into the lobby. You know what? Just in case there's any of you around here who are way too clever, I'm not even gonna reveal the lobby name in case you guys guess the 4-letter password. Let's just hide that really quickly. There we go. We're back in the game. We have had passwords be guessed in the past by some viewers who are just too smart for their own good. 4 letters password, you say? 1, 2, 3, 4? I actually can't remember what the password is, but luckily it was already typed in, so I didn't need to type it again. Here we go, guys. It is going to be Emre, actually, not Atomic. So Magnifico, they have the flexibility here. Exotic, off the back of a crushing win against Breezy in the previous round. You know, has to be the favorite here in ones, but OSM yesterday said he really does like Emre's chances. We'll see if that comes true. So far, not so good. Emre gives Exotic a lot of space, and Exotic turns it into a goal pretty quickly. Great shot there. Now, are any of you guys watching the 3 of a Kind Celestial series on Shogun's channel? What's the score over there? I definitely want to know what's happening. You know, like I said earlier, we also have Dazarin casting this series on his channel. If you want to watch his POV, then definitely check him out as well. Use the ! Fusion streams commands. 2-0 Exotic over here. Emre boost starved, it looked like, or hold on, was he? Not really, he just got out of position. Too far in front of the ball, jumps with forward momentum. And that has just left him in a really awkward position. 3 of a Kind 2-0. What, 2-0 in the series? Wow. So, making the most of this second chance that they've got. You know, it's not surprising. They're definitely a great team. Definitely a threatening lineup who are very well rounded, like both Solary and Magnifico are. But what do you guys think? If Exotic keeps on popping off in ones, Solary pick ones again, that's crazy to think that an RLCS team wouldn't pick 3v3 against an EU bubble team. But that might be the case. They might be more confident in Exotic's 1v1. He seems to be playing pretty well today. Emre has time on his side though. He can figure this one out. And like I said before, if Solary do pick 1v1 for the rematch here, then they might run with Atomic for that one. Magnifico will. Look at the plays for these guys. First defensively to save the air dribble bump, and then from Emre to recover and get back into play. And this time he does turn it into a goal. 2-1. Now in favor of Exotic for Solary. Emre coming back. That's a very nice turn. It looked pretty suspect, honestly, from Exotic to be pushed that far up on the play. Positioning was certainly questionable. Emre's trying to delayed kickoff, doesn't pull it off. Exotic, tight angle shot off the backboard, somehow saved by Emre. What an exchange by these two. And Emre has completely read Exotic's mind on that one. Wave dash into the dribble. Boost steal is available. Exotic has the long shot ability though. Emre's control is really excellent. He's making a lot of awkward touches and keeping perfect control of the ball while doing so. Exotic needs to hold on to possession when he gets it, because when Emre takes the ball, he likes to keep it for as long as possible. He's not pressing the issue here, and why would you when you've got your opponent in a precarious position. 2-2 now. And Emre is looking to finish off this sweep for Magnifico. Send Solary home without a win. 3 of a kind one, 3-0. Oh wow, so we've already got the winner on that side. That's insane. Now Exotic had the lead earlier. It looked like he was playing extremely confidently, but that confidence is gone, and it's hard to be confident when you're up against a player who's starting to take control of the series in the way that Emre is. That save has just sent the ball into the crossbar. Emre giving Exotic a lot of space here. He missed the boost. Exotic's got the goal if he controls this well, and he does. And that all goes back to the corner boost being missed for Emre. He needed that really to make this challenge a safe one. Without it, he's extremely all in with no way to recover. And that's given Exotic a 1-goal lead back. What a game we're seeing here. You know, with Emre being as competitive as he is, I wouldn't be surprised to see him demand the rematch if he does lose this. There's 2 different types of 1v1 players. The ones who lose and say, no, I don't want to play that guy again. And the ones who lose and say, but I'll beat him next time. And I think based on what I'm seeing here, Emre looks like he might be the latter. And for a good reason. He looks like he's very capable of getting a win in a matchup with Exotic. He only needs to get 1 out of 2 if Solary pick the 1v1 round for game 4. Oh, that fake challenge by Exotic. Emre's control again. I don't know how he's managed to keep that ball under control with this touch, but he has. There's a reverse challenge. Emre sneaking behind the ball, challenging backwards, but Exotic is keeping calm in this position as well. What a chess match we're seeing here between these players. The mechanics are insane. The speed is definitely there, but such a positional battle here. A war of attrition. Emre sneaking in. Demo attempt. Huge 50-50 win. That is going to be wide open for Emre. And despite the boost disadvantage, he has crushed Exotic in this challenge. Oh dear, Exotic just way too side on there. And he gets destroyed in the 50-50. And now this could be the final minute of Solary's tournament life. They need a goal here. Exotic has to score if they are going to stay alive in the qualifier. Emre and Magnifico have such a huge advantage. Not only that, but Emre's got the ball under control. Huge flick to the backboard. Exotic's going to ping it back into the middle. Emre pings the backboard again. Exotic with a weaker clear this time. Emre fires and misses. And that could have been it right there. But Exotic didn't have to make a third save. Now it's his turn to be the one taking shots. Can he find a way through? Emre wants to fake challenges. They don't really work. Exotic's not buying it. He knows he's got time. He gets nice and close to point blank range before firing off the shot, before pulling the trigger. And that is the danger of faking challenges this close to your net. You don't have the space, you don't have the time to turn around and put in a real challenge afterwards. And whenever you don't have that space, sometimes it's better to just go for the challenge and see what happens, because you are not saving an Exotic flick from that range. His control has just been too impressive. Emre off the bar. Very difficult shot off the backboard, but hold on, he's got an open net here, and he controls it. Emre ups the tempo in the final few seconds. He knew he had to change the pace here. Playing defensively when Exotic has the ball, backing off and waiting to see what's going to happen. That doesn't work when you've only got a few seconds left. But boy, did he make those seconds count. He charges in, asserts his authority on the play, and he's right back in it. This is again the last chance for Solary. But wait a minute, Exotic has done it! The cheeky kickoff from Emre backfires. Exotic goes straight through him. That was a delayed approach from Emre. He tried to bounce the ball off his car and over the top of Exotic, but Exotic just dunked him. And he does keep Solary in the series. They're not done yet. Wow. That is a really interesting matchup. But look at that. Solary, they don't want to pick the 1v1 again. They're picking 3v3, which is actually a matchup they lost earlier in this series. But you know, like I said earlier, they are the RLCS team. Magnifico, they're the bubble team. it is surprising to hear that an RLCS team wouldn't pick 3v3 against a bubble team, but that's not the case. They are going to pick 3v3 in that matchup. But yeah, just for your guys' information, since the Three of a Kind versus Celestial series has concluded, we will be having Three of a Kind versus Nameless on Shogun's channel. That is a qualification match, and it will be starting in half an hour's time to see who qualifies for the tournament. And then on my channel in half an hour's time, we will be having the winner of this match against Endpoint to see who qualifies for Fusion EU. So we still have 2 more qualifier matches, but since they're happening at the same time now, I will only be broadcasting one of them. Shogun will be broadcasting the other one. So make sure to follow Shogun. He's in the squad stream. He's in the !Fusion streams command. Go and give him a follow so you can catch what's happening on his stream as well as mine. We will, if you do want to know who is qualifying live when it happens. Can Magnifico do it in 4? They've already beaten Solary in 1 3v3, and they looked pretty dominant while doing it. I'm not going to lie. I think they've got it in them to win this matchup again. Solary looked pretty tame compared to what I'm used to seeing from them in 3v3. The offense just really wasn't causing many problems to Magnifico, and Magnifico, meanwhile, they've got threats coming in from all angles. These guys, they know how to pile on the pressure, and they don't hold back. Atomic high above the net, denied by Exotic. And now Yukis picks up the pieces. It's unlikely now that we're going to see another 1v1 in this matchup. I reckon game 5, if we go there, Magnifico might pick the 2v2. What do you guys think? Do Magnifico pick 2s? What if they also pick 3v3? We might just have a heavy 3v3 series here. It's been mostly about 1v1 today, but these teams, they really believe in their 3s ability, of course. You think they have to pick 2s if they lose the 3s? Well, Solary lost the 3s and they picked it. It very much depends on how this game goes. If we go to like a really close overtime where Magnifico are attacking, hitting the post, hitting the crossbar, Solary are just getting away by the skin of their teeth, then I wouldn't be surprised to see Magnifico pick 3v3 for game 5, because they're going to feel robbed in that game and think that they still have the advantage in the matchup. But if Solary dominate, that won't be the case. The Solary are starting to have more success with their passing in the final third. Backflip from Yukis actually allows Atomic to continue with the play. Melashisu 1v1 with Emre briefly, but after seeing how well Emre performed in the 1v1 round, not sure that's a position you want to be in for Solary. Yeah, Dazarin is streaming the same one, I'm aware. Definitely check out his POV also. If you prefer to watch this series on Dazarin's channel, then please be encouraged to go do so. I want you guys to enjoy the best content for you. And it's impossible for me to make content that everybody enjoys. I'm sure there's going to be many of you who prefer to watch on another stream. So yeah, what's Dazarin's Twitch? I know he's not in the squad stream because he's not a partnered streamer. But what's his Twitch channel called? This 3v3 is closer than the first one that we saw between these two teams. It is just Dazarin. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so just D-A-Z-E-R-I-N. 1-0. Solary. And if all it takes for a goal to be scored is me spelling out Dazarin's name, I'm going to do it several times this series. But like I said earlier on, it's the passing plays of Solary that are starting to show up in the final third of the field. That is a huge component to their success as a threes team. Often is for all the top teams in the world these days. We didn't see too much in the way of team play by them against Magnifico in game 1 of this series. They were disjointed, they weren't following up on each other's plays. Magnifico seemed to be a lot more effective in that regard. But it doesn't matter at this point. All that matters is the result of this game, and Solary look like they've given themselves more than a fighting chance to come out with a series win here. They have 90 seconds to hold on to this lead, and then they have to just wait and see what Magnifico choose. Solary apparently have the edge in the 1v1, although it is very close. If they win the 3v3, then maybe they're going to have the edge in that one. Should that be the choice? 2v2 would probably be the choice by Magnifico, but you know, it's definitely possible that Solary will elevate their 2's gameplay just like they have for their 3's gameplay. Loved the casting for the whole tournament. You learned a lot. I'm glad to hear it, man. Solo casting Rocket League is a bit of a different kind of feel for viewers than the usual geocast. Now, I love geocasting Rocket League. I've had a lot of my favorite casts ever be geocasts. But yeah, with solo casting, you can chill out a little bit. Oh, that's almost an own goal by Solary there. It does hang about near their goal line quite harmlessly, though. Yeah, like I was saying, you can kind of have more of a conversation with the viewers when you're solo casting, which is a nice change of pace. Yeah, I decided it would be better to have any casters who want to, any of the Fusion casters who want to help out with the casting for the tournament. It would be better to, let them take matches on their own streams and have them also join mine. So why not cover more matches? That was my thought process behind that. And so far it's worked out pretty well. Those guys have been doing a really good job taking the other matches that I can't do on here. But check this out, guys. We do have a game 5, and I am really interested to see what game mode Magnifico are going to choose, because the 2v2 or the 1v1, sorry, they did lose it, but it looked winnable, and there's definitely a chance that Emery is saying to them, guys, I can beat this guy in ones. Let me at him. I'm going to beat him this time. They never expect us to pick ones. Let's do it. Let's surprise them. Exotic's going to choke, but there's also a really good chance that they're just going to go over 2v2 because they won that matchup fair and square. Oh, or they might just run back the 3v3 again. Look at these guys. They are all in on the 3s. Magnifico take down Solary in game 1. Solary take down Magnifico in game number 4. And Magnifico says, yeah, but we don't really care about that. We're just going to beat you game 5 in 3s. What a huge gamble by Magnifico. They literally just lost this matchup, the last game, but they want to play it again. They're going to do it as a team. I mean, there is definitely a cool side to that as well. It's awesome to see teams put their faith in their 1v1 player to help them qualify for the tournament, but it's also cool seeing a team just all come together and say, now we're going to do this as a team. We are 3's team going into this. Let's do this. Doing what we know best. But check this out. Melashisu, how did he recover? Did he just get bumped out of his goal into an interception? Did I see that right? I'm pretty sure the Melashisu just got bumped out the top of his goal and he flew into the ball. That is an insane recovery. And what was it? What was the quick chat? Okay by Atomic. They're already tilted, guys. They're already regretting the 3v3 pick here. It took a total of 15 seconds. Saw Scrubkill a tweet yesterday saying he was going to go and play ones on stream until he literally imploded. And I thought, oh wow, he's going to play ones for one game? Amazing. Can't wait to watch that, but no. It is quite funny how quickly things can turn around in Rocket League. Such a volatile game. Well, there's a long way left in this one. Magnifico, that is not the best pass by Yukis. I mean, it has found someone at the back post, but this isn't really an angle that they can work with. Atomic wants to reset on the ceiling. The ball's behind him, though, and got to say, Magnifico don't look like their heads are as much in the game as they were before. A couple of wayward touches happening by a few of their members right now. I said it in jest that they were already tilted, but maybe they actually are. And they would have been if that went in. Yukis, the double touch own goal attempt off his own post, but it hasn't worked out for Solary. Carrying into the corner. That is extremely aggressive, but Exotic's quick in the recovery. He's looking for Melashisu on the far left. Emery's there. But Solary, they are quite happy to defend these high balls. Magnifico need to be passing more if they're going to find a way through. Solary have just gotten better and better as we've gone from game to game here in 3v3, and that's why in this format you can't judge how good a 3v3 team is based on game 1 of a series. You need to see a series between them to know just how good they are, and we will get to see that in the final stage of this tournament, where 3s, 2s and 1s will all be played in series format. I know a lot of you wonder why the qualifier is crew battles, if that is the case, and of course it's because there's no other way to have 8 teams qualify for 3 different game modes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Atomic with a demo on the goal line. Center ball double by Yukis. It was only a matter of time before I made that mistake, but I'm proud we made it all the way to losers round 3 before it happened. Now watch me go say it again in a couple of minutes from now. Magnifico are piling on the pressure. We saw Emery do this in the 1v1 round. As soon as they noticed that the time was running out and they don't have any time to waste, they really upped the tempo, started playing more aggressively with their challenges and their aerial game. They're doing that right now in 3v3. Now, in 3v3, you have to start doing that sooner. You don't have as many chances to score as you do in a 1v1. So, yes, there's 2 minutes left in the game, but this is time now. We're getting into the moment of the match where Magnifico need to really start upping the aggression, start forcing the issue, because what's the difference? Losing 2-0, 1-0, it's the same result at the end of the day. You're going out of the tournament. If they overextend and lose another goal, better than not even trying to create a goal in the first place. And I think Magnifico are going to go down that aggressive route. It's just they're waiting for the moment to strike. Emery sends it long. Yukis is following up with him. Arian composed under pressure, keeps it under control, and now we are getting into desperate times for Magnifico. And this would be a real feel-good series for Solary. They lost to 3v3 in game 1. A lot of people would have been surprised by that result, but they've more than avenged that loss if they can win twice in a row. Miss by Carrion. Double touch by Atomic. It's into Yukis. And you know, the fact that Atomic missed this double might have helped them, because that's the only thing that Melishisu had his eye on. He was trying to block it. He did not see the whiff coming, and Yukis did. 46 seconds left, and we are all tied up. Yeah, of course, you guys are all spamming Yuki on the chat. Carrion doesn't have a lot of boost to play with, but neither does Yukis in the back corner. He's going to lob it long into the middle. Exotic just knocked it straight down, but that's only as far as Atomic. There's a lot of space now in the back of the field for Solary. Carrion gets it over 2 with his flick. Atomic alone in defense. Carrion unable to put it past him immediately. And that wasn't the best clear attempt. Luckily, it fell quite friendly for Magnifico. Solary are challenging as early as possible with at least one member now on these plays. That goal has not forced them any more into defense than it would have otherwise. But we are going to go to overtime. One more goal to decide whose tournament life will continue. Winner of this plays endpoint for a spot in the EU Fusion tournament. It's Atomic, denied by Melishisu. And the ball's only made it as far as Yukis, who pinches it back into the middle. That's a pretty wicked bounce, so Exotic has to bounce it clear. And Atomic off the ceiling, had to jump, no dodge available. He still gets a nice 50-50 though. Melishisu and Carrion have both jumped for this. No back corner boost for Solary. Follow up from Emre, but Melishisu is there first. But so far it's been all Magnifico in overtime. Exotic trying to keep this under control in the back corner for Solary. Magnifico are coming in from all angles. They've had many uncontested touches in the final third. Huge demo and boost steal by Emre. Pressure is on Carrion. Yukis staring him down. And now Emre with a chance off the wall. He opts for the shot, and maybe not the best choice, because that was an easy save. That's allowed Solary to get out of their half now. Melishisu denied at the near corner, but he won't be for too long. Yukis has to scramble the ball clear. Now Exotic into Carrion, back up, and it's, I think, a free shot, but off target by Melishisu. That was a huge chance. You have to test the goalie there. You can't be missing the target. That was a test by Yukis, but Magnifico denied by Melishisu. Seems to be involved in everything at both sides of the field. High ball by Atomic. He's trying to read the bounce. Can't, because Carrion beats him to it. It's off the near post. Yukis decides not to go for it. Melishisu was right there. Yukis has it under control in the back corner. Atomic takes over. More space for Magnifico. They do have a lot of time on the ball in the final third here. In this overtime, Solary might be playing this a tad too defensively, I would say. Emre brought in by Yukas, so his shot is wide. And not for the first time, Magnifico have sent a very, very tame center ball towards Solary, and it just turns into a Solary counterattack. Carrying with a double off the ceiling. It's high for Melishisu, who knocks it into Emre on the goal line. That was close. This time Solary with the better of the chances. Time for Melishisu. What option is he going to go for? Oh, the time is all gone. Yukas flies up and beats into it. Another high ball by Atomic, but the backboard defense of Solary holds up. Melishisu gonna bounce it dangerously into the middle at the other end of the field. It's end-to-end stuff now. Neither team able to establish consistent pressure. And there's no fear of attacking this ball early. That's just gonna bounce in. Melishisu dominates the aerial battle and sends it in off the ceiling. What a 50-50 that is. And there was an instant leave by the Magnifico player who was on the receiving end of that one. That's going to sting. You know, you can't blame him for wanting to just get out of this lobby that goal just happened in. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, was 3v3 the correct choice here? You know, I love it from a spectator point of view. Incredibly entertaining to see that one unfold. But Solary were getting better and better in 3v3, and I think 2v2 may have been a good choice from a strategical standpoint. But wow, what a series. Like, Solary reverse sweep, 3v3 ran back twice. That is not something I thought we would have happen in this tournament, but they've gone for it. And it's worked out for Solary. Congratulations on the continued success in the tournament. I'm going to be streaming Endpoint versus Solary to finish off the EU qualifier over here. And Shogun is going to be streaming Nameless versus Tree of a Kind. If you want a quick update on who those rosters are, because I know we haven't talked about Nameless at all today. It's a couple of people you will be familiar with. Rix Ronde and Ocelon. They have been in and around the pro scene for Rocket League for quite a long time. But Demensa, he is the wild card for this team, who's been playing some unbelievable games of 1v1. He beat OSM, he beat Scrub yesterday, and he took Khaled to overtime, didn't he? Or was it just a one-goal game? I've forgotten, actually, what the Khaled game... No, it was overtime. He went to overtime with Khaled. So Demensa is incredibly good at 1v1. We saw Solary's Exotic playing a very solid ones game against Magnifico there. But I've got to think that Nameless are going to be the favorite in that one. Oh, sorry, no, that's the wrong matchup. And no, sorry, Ixo's going to be playing 1v1 for Tree of a Kind. And, going into this tournament, I would expect Ixo to be the favorite there. But after seeing Demensa yesterday, really hard to choose. Yeah, Demensa's on fire.